This is Joe Leigh here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by Dewey Cooper over here in Las Vegas, obviously on Zoom. But I appreciate you, first of all, for taking the time. I know it's early for you, obviously, with all the time zones and stuff, the difference. I don't know, you're probably jet lagged as well, being over here in the UK over the last week. So yeah, thanks for taking the time.
Yeah, no problem, man. My pleasure. Like we just came back from Liverpool, England. We took that strap home to the United States, to Las Vegas with us. Very happy with everything, and we had a great time in England, man. The UK rocks, England rocks, and we look forward to going back.
Yeah, man. I mean, you're obviously here in July as well for Carlos Takam, Joe Joyce. Just talk to us about Liverpool, though, of course, this past weekend with Jamie Mitchell being victorious over Shannon Courtenay. Not a lot of people going into the fight expected it. Obviously, Shannon Courtenay missing weight. A lot of people had stuff to say about Shannon Courtenay. A lot of female boxers as well going into that fight.
Yeah, we were like a plus 380 underdog. People just didn't know. We've been saying this for quite a while. Jamie has world championship potential. Exactly 1 year ago, Clarissa Shields, the great two-time gold medalist, undefeated professional women's boxer, and now MMA fighter, had her own show in her hometown back in Michigan. And it was an all-women's boxing card, and Jamie was the only girl who scored a knockout on the entire card and looked fantastic. And she said, as well as we said back then, she was ready for a big step. It was only a 6-round fight, mind you, but she was ready to step up into that world championship caliber of fights. Mm-hmm. Lo and behold, the universe blessed us. We got this opportunity. All you guys thought Shannon Courtenay was going to do it, and we already knew it, man. We knew what was going to happen, and the fight played out exactly like we expected. And to my satisfaction, like you said, 2 months previous, we lost the fight in London at Wembley Stadium to Joe Joyce with my boxer Carlos Takam. So I definitely didn't want to go to England and come back 0-2. So I feel a little better with a 1-1 record in England as far as championship fights are concerned. And next time we'll turn it over to 2-1.
Yeah, what was your thoughts on the weigh-in and the whole situation with her and her reasoning for missing weight? Obviously, I know you've mentioned after the fight, you kind of thought it was weird that she was just drinking, I think like Luke said, water straight after the weigh-ins. When you saw that on Friday, were you more confident than beforehand?
Well, we're always confident. It should have made the weight in stellar form, ripped abs and all of that. We still would have been confident. But my personal opinion, this is only my personal opinion, but when you become a world champion and you have your first title defense, that's a more defining moment than actually winning the world championship. And for you to not make weight for your first title defense is asinine to me. It's just crazy, no matter what the case. And guys, a little background on me. My first world champion that I ever coached was a woman, Jessica the Ranger Rakosi. We won 5 world titles in 3 different weight classes together. Jessica had her period. Out of the 33 fights, we had several different times and several big fights. And you still got to make the weight. No matter what, I don't care what the excuse is, you have to make the weight. And for you not to do that on your first title defense, it's just really shows a lack of true championship psychology. You don't ever want to lose your belt, let alone lose your belt to the scale. And that's just crazy to me. And she was gonna lose it anyway, but I'd rather lose my championship in a fight rather than against the scales.
I think you've got a valid point when you mention and still is kind of more important than Anu because you're defending it and therefore it's yours.
Yes, they're both great, but
yeah.
That first title defense is like an incredulous feeling. Yeah. It's better than incredible. And like I said, it was just crazy. And since you mentioned about the drinking water thing afterwards, guys, keep in mind, I'm Francis Ngannou, the UFC heavyweight champions coach. I trained Kevin Lee, the Motown phenom, and I'm bringing my MMA pedigree up because, as we know,
I was going to get into this, yeah.
Yes, the MMA fighters drop much more weight than boxers do. We got Kevin Lee 22 pounds up on Tuesday, and he's fighting Saturday, and we still make the weight many times. Sometimes Kevin has missed weight, but we're dropping 20 pounds, 22 pounds, stuff like this. If we get a fighter who gets on the scale 2.5 pounds up, and the commission gives him 2 hours to make weight, and they just start drinking water and don't even attempt to take that 2 hours, it's crazy to me. It's doubly crazy when it's a champion having their first title defense. You're supposed to try to get your weight down at all odds. The commission should be coming to you saying, your time is up, get on the fucking scale. And so that just shows to me that there's a lack of true championship psychology in the mental compartment, because no champion's gonna have 2 hours left and don't even try, and then drink water when they're on stage in front of media, in front of everyone.
Yeah, I think, well, first of all, the MMA stuff we are going to get into, I've been desperate to talk about with you for a long time. But kind of, as we were saying, did you see much of the backlash on Twitter going towards Shannon Courtenay? Michaela Meyer was talking about it. So many female boxers saying they've been through similar things and kind of weren't in the position Shannon was in.
Yes, of course. And you're theoretically the A side. You got the great promoter. You had a 30,000 seat packed arena in your country, your home country. You're the favorite. She was like a minus 270 favorite. I mean, you just can't have those miscues, and it's really inappropriate. I'm not the one to just diss the lady boxers, because my first world champion was a woman. But when people like Michaela coming out saying things, we know it's valid, and we know it's inexcusable.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very interesting what happened over the weekend. And as you say, you were here in July for Carlos Takam versus Joe Joyce. It was a great fight, a great start from Carlos Takam. Where's he going from here? I saw on your social media, I don't know if it was this morning, but you were with him on that video that you posted. What's the latest with him? Is he going to be getting out again very soon before the end of the year?
That's the plan. He'd like to. Of course, you know the boxing business. Hopefully, theoretically, we're back in camp. We started Monday. I got back Sunday night, and we started training Monday. That video that Carlos put up wearing the all white, that was us training Monday. So we got right to work. Nothing's official, but some things are in the works, and we love to get back in there. And we started camp already, so looking for big things from Mr. Takam. As you know, the fight was very entertaining, very exciting. I just wish we had a little longer to compete, but that's the way it happens sometimes. And we just got to learn from those happenings and get better from them, and we definitely will.
Yeah, 100%. And he's always in entertaining fights, so I look forward to seeing him, whether it's in the UK or over in the US. One thing, obviously, is he's in the best division in boxing, of course, the promised land, the heavyweight division. And this weekend we saw Fury versus Wilder. When I'm speaking to UK people, I have to ask them whether they stayed up to watch it, and obviously it's hard to get on pay-per-view straight away, so some people might not have seen it fully. But obviously, with yourself being in Vegas, I'm sure you were watching that live and enjoyed it. Yeah. It was a great fight.
Yeah, it was awesome to be in the UK, especially after winning my 10th world title.
You were in Liverpool, yeah, of course.
After winning my 10th world title, we felt accomplished. We were excited. We felt internally really good. And then I watched the fight at our hotel in Liverpool, the Hilton Liverpool, with all these British guys, of course, really supportive of Tyson Fury. So it was awesome to see. I thought the fight was very exciting. As far as a coach, I wasn't happy with a lot of techniques that were being used, but the fight was highly emotional, you know, an emotional fight. And you know, sometimes when guys get too heavy emotionally about fighting each other, you get more of those street brawl type fights. And that's what we see. We see a very exciting street fight. And Tyson Fury came out on top. That was the bottom line.
A lot of people are questioning whether Deontay Wilder has much left just because of his actions post-fight and kind of where he could go from here.
Well, at Deontay's age, he definitely has something left if he can be psychologically sturdy, if he can just get back and keep the work and figure it out and just really know that he can bring this all back. It's pretty interesting, man. Anthony Joshua has 2 losses, and people are saying he can possibly get it back. Deontay Wilder has 2 losses, and it's fucking over for this guy. You know, isn't that crazy? George Foreman came back at 46 years old and captured the heavyweight title. So if anyone can do what Deontay Wilder can, he just really needs to just reassess and just really go deep within himself and know he can still do it. And one thing, last thing, I know I'm talking a lot, but one thing these fighters have to understand, it can't be too much an emotional thing because, man, you lose your technique. You start throwing wild shots. You don't move your feet with your punches. And the less technical supremacy you have, the more likely you're going to get hit with power shots and hit more abundantly. And that's what we've seen in that fight.